sense, but he nodded.
He nodded.
I've got a few more questions about that plague mask.
What do you want to know?
Can you tell me where to find the things I'll need?
You can get the rope and leather almost anywhere. I'd say you'll find some lying around the construction site. And you can gather herbs from Yocham's garden.
And the recipe for the fragrant oil?
The monastery library has extensive collections. I'd be surprised if you didn't find something in there.
How will the mask help me?
Well, if you wear it properly, you shouldn't get infected. Or not so easily, at least. The herbs and oil purify the air around you, and the mask stops you breathing in the foul air.
And once I've got all the materials, is there a recommended method?
Once you've got everything you need, there's a bench in the alchemical workshop where you can get to work. I'm not the handiest with this sort of thing, but if I can sew the mask, hanging herbs on it should be a cinch.
That's all. Thanks. Tell me a bit more about yourself.
Gladly. What do you want to know?
You've known Albic for quite a while now, haven't you?
Too long, perhaps. If you know what I mean.
Well, I've only known him for a short time, but I can imagine he's not always easy to get along with.
Aye, old Albic. Don't take me wrong. The man's a real fount of knowledge.
I feel like there's a but coming.
What's more, he's always had the gift that whatever he does, he makes it look easy. It was only when I tried something myself, under his guidance, that I realized how many mistakes could be made. You should have heard the earful he gave me.
When the rat-eye captain, Bernard, gave me my first sword fighting lesson, it ended up similar. He beat me like a dog.
Is that so? But that must have been a long time ago, eh?
Not really. I suppose I'm a quick learner.
You suppose, eh? If you were recommended for Albic's escort, you must have proved you're worth it.
Is it true that Albic was your teacher?
He was far from the only one. At university, they filled my head with knowledge about alchemy, the origin and use of substances, often accompanied by a dose of philosophy. But it was only with Albic that I understood what practice entails. These years spent with books didn't prepare me for it in the slightest.
I thought Albic fits in more with books and alchemical instruments too.
Appearances can be deceiving. He's a knowledgeable man, but I've never seen him more in his element than when he's caring for his patients. Sometimes he thinks he'll save the whole world with his head full of wisdom. And don't try to argue it with him.
What surprised you most in medical practice?
Hard to say. You get used to the smell of blood and pus eventually. Same with the screams and cries for help. But when someone's child dies in your arms for the first time... Well, that was the first and last time Albic and me got drunk like animals.
Serving as King Sigismund's personal physician must be a huge responsibility, eh?
Responsibility, too. But above all, it's constant alertness. You have to know how to act, but also how to anticipate. And even though it is not talked about, even kings are only human and can still fall gravely ill.
Albic mentioned the two of you treated King Wenceslas once.
That's right. It all turned out fine in the end, but there was a moment even Albic was worried it was beyond his capabilities.
What was wrong with Wenceslas then?
As his physician and confidant, Albic kept it to himself, but I had my suspicions. Now that I care for his brother, I can deduce what's hereditary and what Wenceslas brought upon himself with his let's say, more unrestrained lifestyle.
Is King Sigismund ill?
If he was, I surely wouldn't be discussing it with you. Nonetheless, there's no need to worry. His Highness is in good health. And if anything were to change, I'm never far away.
What do you mean?
A few years back, someone tried to poison the king. They mixed it into his cup of wine.
And he drank it?
Thankfully, I noticed the odd color and sediment at the bottom. They had a waiter try the wine, and, well, I couldn't save him, unfortunately. Since then, there's been a shortage of waiters at the royal court. Strangely enough, nobody wants to do the job.
No wonder. Who's that companion of yours?
Dinesh? That's an odd story, actually. I'm not even sure how he made it to the royal court. Maybe someone originally took him as a prisoner.
You never asked him?
He doesn't want to talk about it, and I respect it. His family doesn't have the best reputation, and Dinesh does well not to associate with them.
His family? What happened?
Ask him yourself. It's not my place to tell you about it.
Did I hear correctly that you're from Prachetiets? How is it there?
My, you have a good memory. Yes, I am. But, to be honest, I left there years ago to go to university and haven't had the chance to go back yet.
So you haven't seen your family since then?
I'd married myself to the king's service. The house went to my sister and brother-in-law, and they are doing well. Years ago, Prachetiets was granted the privilege of trading in salt from Passau by the king, and my brother-in-law knew how to take advantage of that.
Can I ask you something else?
Of course.
Is there anything I can help you with around here?
Leave the treatment to us. But Dinesh did mention he's been having trouble with Salarius.
What's it about?
About food supplies. Even before the monastery was closed, old Julian was a miser. But now we have to haggle over every morsel.
You really think I can do something about it?
Couldn't hurt to try. Go and speak to Dinesh. He'll explain what's what.
Can I ask?
Of course.
Thanks.
Nope.
I heard you've been having some trouble getting supplies for the infirmary.
That's right. Old Julian seems to think the sick can live on decoctions and ointments. We get nothing but scraps.
Well, if they want to let them starve, I don't know why they need two famed physicians for it.
My thoughts exactly. I've told him 100 times, but he just keeps saying he's praying for them. As if that would help.
Wouldn't it make sense to take it to the abbot? Surely the Salarius would listen to him.
I've already suggested that to Master Zacharias, but the abbot hardly sees anyone, and certainly not folk from the infirmary.
Is he afraid of the plague?
Either that, or he's ashamed.
Well, maybe I could try speaking to the Salarius myself and see if I can, persuade him.
I won't stop you, but I've tried everything I could think of. What's your plan?
Try to persuade him. He's bound to respond to something.
That old man only hears what he wants. But good luck.
So watch out for those patrolling knights.
Who's there?
Kitty! Kitty!
Forgive the intrusion, Brother Librarian.
An apology will not spare us this dreadful illness, but obeying the abbot's orders might. Haven't you heard them? I moved in here so I could continue my work and keep the mandated solitude. So leave me in its safe embrace and go away.
I understand, but I've come on an urgent matter.
And I'm urgently asking you to leave me be. I don't want to catch the illness and stand before the Lord. Not yet.
You needn't worry. I've used aromatic herbs to cleanse the bad air. That should protect us from the illness.
Truly? Will that be enough?
Not entirely, but it helps greatly. And it's the best that can be done here. I use mint and sage. I suggest you get hold of some too, to keep the air clean around you.
Thank you for the advice. I'll have some brought in.
May I ask you a favor then?
But please, keep it brief.
Brother Librarian, I need your help.
What is it?
This might sound odd, but do you have that book where I could find a recipe for aromatic oil?
My answer may sound even odder. I do. It's on the stand over there. One of my brothers was searching for a recipe, an oil for hardened heels, from working out in our garden. Perhaps it will be of use to you as well. I'm sorry. Damn rain.
I hear you and Dinesh are having a bit of a dispute over food supplies for the infirmary.
A dispute? Is that what he told you?
Well, not in those words exactly.
I really would like to help, but you must understand that I can't. No one knows how long the monastery will stay closed. The whole convent has to live off the supplies, and if we are to endure, we all have to tighten our belts.
And what about the abbot? Will he tighten his belt too, or is he exempt?
Don't insult his grace in my presence. Father Jan fasts regularly and sets an example for us all.
Since you brought up the supplies, how much is actually left? Are we talking days, weeks, months?
Months. Not even in my most hopeful dreams. With small portions, fasting, and assuming we don't get a hailstorm that destroys what's yet to be harvested, we'll last 2 weeks. 3 if we're lucky.
Then Albie could better get a move on. Look, I know it's difficult for you, but we can't just let the poor infirm suffer in hunger. If you help me, I'll be glad to repay the favor. Is there anything I could do for you?
Well, to tell you the truth, magpies have built a nest in the tree in the monastery garden. They perch on rooftops, screech like mad, and I can't get any sleep. And they're so brazen. One of them stole my spectacles yesterday. I can't read without them.
I'll see what I can do.
All right. But make it quick.
How else can you save on food?
Other than shrinking portions and thinning out the gruel and broth with water, I can't think of much. When the Black Death ravaged the land, Solarius Vendelin ran the kitchen. They say that even though he had limited supplies, he...
What, perform miracles?
Don't blaspheme! But it's true that he kept most of the brethren alive, even with famine looming.
Where could I learn more about this Vendelin?
There might be a small manuscript in the library. He wrote it himself once, long ago.
Exactly. They'll come up with all...
What is it? Did you drop something?
Pater noster qui est in celis, sanctificetur nomen tuum. Adveniat nomen tuum, sed libera nos ama.
I've got your spectacles.
Show me. Are they all right?
Don't worry, they're fine.
Praise the Lord. Without them, I'd be like a mole.
You're welcome.
Yes. And what are you standing around for? You're going to want something in return for that little favor, aren't you?
You said you consider giving the infirmary a larger food share.
Did I say that?
Aye. In return for bringing back your spectacles from the magpie nest I had to knock down.
So, are my spectacles the only thing you found in the nest?
There was more in there. Why?
I realized I'm missing some other things, too. Those thieving pests are smarter than I thought. Go on, then. Hand over the rest.
You said you wanted your spectacles, and I brought them. Now keep your part of the bargain.
Aye, just take it. Now leave me be. Take the supplies for the infirmary here. But God help you if you think of stealing anything. There's not much food left, so use it wisely. Hungry mouths will make it vanish quick as a flash.
Oh, another system. And I still don't know where that water is coming from. Here in the middle of the monastery. Brother Librarian, I need your help.
What is it?
I found a recipe for an aromatic oil. Do you know where I could get the ingredients for it?
Oils are usually made of herbs. I reckon you should find everything you need for the most common recipes in Joachim's garden. Till we meet again.
Crayfish, the poor man's salmon, by Salarius Vendelin. Ah, this must be what Julian was talking about. It might come in handy. Seems Vendelin at least had a sense of humor. I suppose I should look by the pond or the hatcheries.
Don't you know?
I found this book in the scriptorium. Something tells me you might find it useful.
What book? Let me see.
It was written by the former Salarius Vendelin. He saved the monastery from famine by cooking the local crayfish.
When you don't have salmon, throw in a crayfish. Makes sense to me.
That's just what Vendelin wrote. A well-prepared crayfish tastes better than most fish.
I suppose it's better than starving to death. Anyway, thanks.
I got more food for the infirmary.
Should I ask how you managed it?
You wouldn't believe me anyway.
You won't surprise me that easily, but suit yourself. Let's see then. Oh, well, it's not much, but it should last a little while.
Tell me something about yourself.
What do you want to know?
Where are you from?
I was born in Zadar, that is in Dalmatia by the sea. I grew up at my uncle Stepan Latkovich's court. Until recently, he governed a huge estate in central Croatia, Dalmatia, and Slavonia.
Until recently?
After an unfortunate event, our lands and properties went to Sigismund's father-in-law, Hermann of Scilly.
What do you mean by unfortunate event? The one that cost you your properties?
It was a little misunderstanding, which became known as the Bloody Sabor of Krzewci.
Sabor?
An assembly of the foremost representatives of nobility and political power in the country. And at this particular assembly, King Sigismund had my uncle, along with most of his people, killed.
Why did Sigismund do that?
He was still bitter about Nicopolis. But what really angered him was my uncle's support for Ladislaus of Naples. He had long had his eyes set on the throne of Hungary, so you can imagine the king was not pleased.
Don't you want to take revenge?
Alone? Against the entire Holy Empire? I am no madman, unlike my uncle. He paid for betrayal with his life. Our entire family lost everything. Our properties, our standing, our power, our future. And I want to fix it. I wear black as a sign of shame for my family. I will not wear anything else until I regain the king's trust.
Are you sure you can accomplish that in one lifetime?
Worst comes worst, I'll die in black too. At least it is suited for the grave.
Not that I know many people from Dalmatia, but your name sounds more Hungarian.
And that is on purpose. The name Lachkovich is not exactly favored at Sigismund's court, so I have learned to use the Hungarian variant.
How did you end up in Zacharias' service?
I used to serve several important courtiers. I must have made an impression on Master Zacharias because he requested my service specifically. King Sigismund readily agreed, and so it will be 2 years now that I've been serving him.
need to ask you something.
Look, you probably shouldn't be here, right? You heard the talk. They say there's some pestilence going round.
Yeah, that's exactly why I'm here. I'm not exactly feeling... Oh, my best. Tell me what I need to know. Oh. And I'll be off.
Christ almighty! What do you want to know? I'll tell you anything, just don't come any closer.
Have you noticed anything odd lately? Suspicious?
What, during work? We're at it from dusk till dawn. No time to be watching what's going on.
Sure, but while you're working, you must hear a thing or two. You know how folk chatter while they work.
Well, I suppose there are two groups of workers here. Us lot working above ground, and another lot working down in the crypt. We don't talk to each other much.
Why not?
They're a right bunch of bastards. Maybe because they've been at it longer than us. They hardly ever come up before we knock off. Some of them probably even sleep down there. Ugh.
Why are there two crews here?
We take care of everything above ground. They're dealing with that collapse into the crypt. We hardly ever see each other.
Where can I find the other crew?
Their tents are right next to the monastery wall.
Who's in charge of your lot?
Now, Andra, our foreman. But the work's clearly laid out. He doesn't have time to be breathing down our necks all the time.
I haven't seen him around. Where can I find him?
No idea. Truth be told, I haven't seen him myself in a while.
And that doesn't strike you as odd?
You think, what, he's sick too?
Well, he's definitely not in the infirmary. Hopefully he's all right. Thanks. That'll be all. Now that looks a bit dodgy.
Bloody hell, spit it out already.
I've got everything I need to make the plague mask. Now, just to actually make it. I hope this works. think the mask does the trick. They were robbing the graves. A drawing of some kind of cross. Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, rotting corpses. Eh? What's this?
He fell for it.
This crypt carries on. Christ, Outbreak! What happened? Are you alright?
I am, yes. But it looks like we've been robbed.
Why? And who did it, for Christ's sake?
Gentlemen, please, keep it down. You're disturbing the patients. For God's sake, what happened here? What a mess.
And what do you think? Someone was clearly looking for something.
But there's nothing of value here.
Well, actually...
Outbreak! You brought them here? What were you thinking?
And was I supposed to leave them unsupervised?
And? Were they stolen?
Thank the Lord, no. I still had them on me.
Can someone tell me what exactly was nearly stolen?
As you know, Henry, I spent a good part of my life at King Wenceslas's court, tending to his health. Thanks to that, I learned much about his private life, what ailed him, how and when he got injured, and what treatments I used. I recorded all my findings and methods, partly in case anyone cast doubts on them, and partly for others to copy, if necessary. If these detailed records were to fall into the wrong hands, I dare not imagine the consequences.
Plenty of folk would pay handsomely for them.
Or tried to steal them for that very reason. Who could have got in and made such a mess?
I was busy tending the sick. I noticed nothing.
Nor did I, I'm afraid. There's work here for 3 more physicians.
That actually made it quite easy for the culprit.
But we still don't know who to suspect.
Surely you realize the abbot himself might be interested in those records.
Father Yan? Nonsense. We've known each other for years.
Not quite well enough. When he heard you were coming, he was pressing me to persuade you to let him read them.
But that's out of the question. Absolutely not.
That's exactly what I told him. The look on his face. If looks could kill, I'd be dead.
How did he even hear about them?
Their existence is no secret. Even King Sigismund mentioned them to me once or twice. And if he ever said anything in front of the abbot...
And the thief waited until the monastery was closed?
So, Albic isn't leaving. Even if he wanted to.
Let's not jump to conclusions. And don't start pointing fingers. Henry, go and ask Brother Benedict and Dinesh in the infirmary if they noticed anything. Maybe we'll get lucky.
All right, then. I'll return to my patients and pretend nothing's amiss. No need to alarm them over this.
Right. Agreed.
Everything's upside down.
Whoever it was, they went through everything thoroughly. Did you see anyone go in or out of our room?
I'm not sure. I think I saw a monk go in. I couldn't say who.
A monk? You mean Benedict?
No, it wasn't him. But hard to say. Damn it, why do they all look the same in here?
It's not exactly helpful, I know. Any idea when that was?
Roughly an hour ago? Maybe 2. Has something happened?
Damn it. Never mind. Better if you ask Zacharias.
God be with you. What do you need?
Did you notice anything suspicious this past hour?
One of the sick men has been throwing up constantly, and I suspect another one's faking it to skip work.
No, I need to know if anyone's been nosing around our room.
I spent most of my time with the vomiting one, or out in the yard scrubbing his bedding. I didn't see anyone.
Someone went through our room, or rather tossed it all about. Likely looking for something.
And what about the alchemy lab? Was that turned over too?
No. I think that one's untouched.
Oh, thank God. I'll go check it anyway, just to be sure. Was anything stolen?
That's the thing. Nothing was taken, so we don't even know what they were after.
I should have been more watchful, right? I'm sorry. I promise I'll keep a better eye on things from now on.
Don't beat yourself up. It's not your fault. Will you tell me more about yourself?
I can try. What would you like to know?
How did you get to the monastery?
Well, I walked. Or do you mean why I entered the abbey?
I'm more interested in that.
Very well. My parents are long dead, but I have 3 older brothers as well as 2 sisters. That is, I had 3, but one of them didn't live to see her first birthday. Nonetheless, I was born 6th. You see, I'm not a fighter, so I didn't join the army, and after paying for my sister's weddings, I couldn't afford to go to university.
So you had no choice?
Something like that. But I'm happy to be here. In just under 2 years, I've learnt many things. Perhaps the Lord will provide, and one day I'll be in charge of the entire hospital.
What did you do before you joined the abbey?
When my parents were still alive, I cared for them. And when they died, I started my postulancy.
Why did you have to care for them? You have a lot of siblings.
My sisters got married, my brothers left to search for work, and we never saw them again. My parents had nobody else left.
It was kind of you to take on that responsibility.
I didn't think of it as a responsibility. It just seemed like the right thing to do.
So you were with your parents until they...
Until they died. It was really challenging for me. But I feel it helped me discover my calling.
Caring for the sick, you mean?
Yes.
Why do you work at the infirmary, of all places?
It's my divine calling.
What do you mean, divine calling?
The Lord chose me to become a healer, but he allowed me to learn through life and discover things for myself.
What, your divine calling is washing the sick, feeding them, emptying their bedpans?
Not just that. I mix potions, change the bedding, keep inventory of what's been used each day and what's needed for the next. And when I have some free time, I search the scriptorium for books on alchemy. There's a bunch of old tomes there full of long-forgotten recipes. I'm boring you, aren't I? Forgive me.
How did you discover you were supposed to become a healer?
I came to realize diseases don't cause me fear or aversion. Or compassion, for that matter.
But isn't that natural? When you see someone suffering, you shouldn't just be completely indifferent.
Imagine you have a stoneworker with a crushed foot come in. Bones poking out and bleeding like a stuck pig. Is it better to comfort him, or to decide in time that he'll probably lose the foot anyway, tourniquet the wound, and go and get a saw?
You're scaring me a bit, to tell the truth.
You're not the first person to say that, but don't think I particularly enjoy cutting off limbs or bleeding people. I'm just good at it.
How's life in the Abbey?
You're expecting me to complain, aren't you? I'm perfectly happy with a routine life. You eat from the same bowls at the same table every morning. Prayer is at the same time every day. And I fall asleep in the same bed every night. What more could you want?
If I ever need my wounds treated, can I come to you?
Of course. It's my job after all. I'm here most days, so you know where to find me.
I think I need some treating.
Is that so? You don't seem to be suffering too much. Forgive me, I have much to do.
I spoke with Benedict and Dennis. Neither noticed a thing.
I thought as much. We've all had our hands full here. So, we still know nothing.
I might have something, but I'm not sure yet how it ties to those records.
What do you mean?
I went down to the crypt, and I found open tombs and rotting corpses.
Good God!
No sign of a mass grave, though. Just individual tombs.
That's both good and bad news. At least we can now rule out the plague. But if the workers caught something from the air around those tombs, then anyone else could catch it too. Why did they even open them?
They were probably looking for something inside. I found this sketch.
That looks like the emblem of the Kingdom of Jerusalem. But why would they look for it among deceased abbots? Even putting aside that it's sacrilege, I don't see the connection.
Nor do I. But there must be one, because they locked me in the crypt over it.
What?
I managed to get out and ran straight back to you. But I was interrupted by this ransacked room.
Maybe we'd better keep all this to ourselves. For now, at least. You might ask Crispin about the coat of arms too. With luck, he'll find something in the archives that sheds some light on how it all connects to those open tombs. But best do it tomorrow. This evening's been more than enough. One adventure a day is plenty.
Agreed. Let's clear up the room, then sleep.
We'll be wiser come morning.
its arse. You stop that, for Christ! Mother of God. For fuck's sake.
Good morning, everyone. I trust you've had a decent sleep. The sick are waiting, and being tired doesn't excuse us from our duties.
All right, give me a moment. Then we'll go and check on the patients. And where's Benedict, anyway?
If I may, gentlemen. Haven't you heard? There was a fire here last night.
A fire? Here at the monastery?
The small shed by the mill house burned down, but it was probably just an unfortunate accident. Thank the Lord it's all over now.
And no one was hurt?
Well, that's the thing. No one burned, but there were 2 men in the shed. Or rather, 2 bodies.
Bodies? Whose were they, for God's sake?
That... I don't know, sir.
And how do you know they didn't die in the flames? Just because they weren't burnt to cinders doesn't prove anything.
I didn't see them, but they said there were no burns, and it didn't look like they'd suffocated either.
So, how did they end up there? What killed them? Didn't anyone tell you about them?
They were sent to be washed, but the washers noticed, signs.
Who found them? And how did he get them out?
Elijah, one of the lay brothers. He ran into the flames thinking he could save them, but they were already dead.
And what was he doing outside in the middle of the night? You don't suppose he had something to do with it?
He's never been any trouble. There's no reason to suspect him.
How do you know about these signs? Did someone examine them?
No, they were only to be washed, but when the signs of illness were spotted, the abbot ordered them locked away in the hops store. Ludolf promised he'd send one of his men to guard the door. No one is to go near them.
That was highly irresponsible. Someone needs to examine them thoroughly. We can't afford uncertainty.
You want to bring them to the infirmary with the others? No. No, let them stay locked away somewhere separate.
Are you afraid the other sick might get even worse? At least we could have them all in one place.
Was anyone else there besides Elijah?
No, or at least no one I know of. I'll leave you to it now. If you need me, I'll be with the sick.
I'm going to. Disease? Fire? What next? A swarm of locusts?
First they ransacked my room, now this. I don't like it one bit.
Do you think the fire's got anything to do with what they were after in your chambers?
Who knows? I feel like someone wants us gone. And they're trying to frighten us into leaving.
And are you considering it? Leaving, despite the abbot's order?
I thought about it for a while. But those infected need us. I can't leave them at the mercy of the disease.
All the more reason to get to the bottom of this.
But I can hardly go poking around myself to find out what really happened.
Don't worry. That's what I'm here for.
Maybe Zacharias was right after all. You never know when an aid like that might come in handy. So, what's your plan?
Quite a few things, actually. I'll take a look around the burned-down shed. There might still be some clues.
Good idea. It might have just been an accident, but it won't hurt to make sure.
What about the corpses? You said you wanted to examine them.
And that's what I'll do. We can't afford doubts when there's a deadly illness spreading.
But Benedict said the abbot forbade it, and that one of the knights is watching over them.
If he's got any sense at all, he'll understand this is serious. A proper diagnosis is key to the next step.
Whoever it is, he's still following orders. He'll know the risk if he disobeys them.
So what do you suggest I do?
Leave it to me.
So what you're saying is, use an unorthodox approach.
I could always bribe the guard. A few groschen might get me in to see the dead.
If you want to waste coin on foul bribery.
Mate, you said yourself we need to be absolutely certain. Are we really going to argue about what that's worth?
You're right. Ethics aside, this is no time for gallantry. When you do get to those bodies, take your time and make sure you do a thorough examination. Don't be squeamish.
So, what exactly should I be looking for?
Anything unusual. You know well the symptoms the sick here have, but a keen eye may spot other signs too. If you're not sure, just try to remember what you saw. If you describe it to me later, I should be able to identify it.
I should probably speak with the lay brother who pulled the bodies out of the flames.
Elijah, right? But be gentle. No one should have to go through what he did last night.
I can't think of anything else.
Nor can I. Well then, best of luck.
What are you doing?
I'm investigating the source of that illness that's been spreading around here. And I could use your learned knowledge.
I'm listening.
I came across the symbol of the Kingdom of Jerusalem during my investigation. And I was wondering if you might have any records or anything that might be connected to it.
If memory serves, something should definitely be here. I even dabbled in it myself long ago. We have the legacy of a knight named Boleslav Bavor, who journeyed through the Holy Land and visited Jerusalem. There was some connection to the monastery crypt, if I recall.
Really? Because I actually came across it in the crypt.
What? What are you talking about?
Well, I ran into some laborers down there. From what I gathered, they were trying to rob some of the graves, and they were looking for something tied to the Jerusalem cross.
By Christ, they were after the relic.
What are you talking about? What relic?
There's a possibility that Bavor was buried here along with a certain relic. That's what got me interested back then.
What sort of relic are we talking about?
I don't know exactly, but certainly something very rare. I believe it's linked to Jesus Christ himself, but I can't tell you for sure right now. It's been many years, and even back then I never found anything substantial apart from Bavor's records of his travels. In the end, I concluded that the whole tale of the relic was likely just Bavor's own fabrication.
But why would the workers suddenly be looking for it now? How could they have found out?
It's certainly a strange coincidence. Then again, there are all sorts of lies and half-truths circulating out there about our monastery, unfortunately. Especially tales of long-sealed treasures and hidden cellars full of silver. If even a sliver of it were true...
It still feels like too much of a coincidence to me.
You'll be surprised what people will believe when tempted by the prospect of riches. And we don't have any better explanation right now. Either way, we must report it to the abbot without delay. Robbing the dead is disgraceful.
You're right. The abbot ought to be told, but it's probably not wise to burden him with it now. Right now, we need to deal with the illness. Once things have settled down, we can make sure those thieves get what they deserve. Besides, we've got almost no proof yet. If I manage to investigate the matter of Bavor more thoroughly, I might stumble on something.
Still, it's a serious thing. We mustn't wait too long.
Of course. Once I've gathered the evidence, I'll explain everything to the abbot straight away. And now I'd like to take a proper look at Bavor's travel records.
Of course. Give me a few moments. I'll find them for you. And I believe Bavor's name also appeared in some old accounts. I'll try to track those down too. Here you go. Bavor's travel records about his journey through the Holy Land.
Oh. It really says here that he acquired a holy relic. Let's see how it continues.
According to the journal, Bavor had himself buried here with his holy treasure. That sounds pretty clear. Let's see what the accounts say. So Bavor gave the monastery a generous donation and paid for a chapel mural painting.
Well,
I read the journal. A lovely tale. It really brought the Holy Land to life.
and?
And it says the relic Bavor acquired was a splinter from the true cross of Christ.
Holy Virgin! Such a sacred treasure!
And according to the book, Sir Boleslav was to be buried with the relic in the monastery crypt.
So it says in the book. I also found my old notes and remembered how it all went back then. I too searched for Bavor's grave. I even dared venture into the crypt, but despite all my efforts, I never found it.
And what did you do after that?
Once I was convinced none of the graves belonged to Bavor, I laid the matter before the abbot, but not our Father Jan. This was over 20 years ago when Abbot Vitus held office. May the Lord grant him eternal peace. Together we came to the conclusion that Bavor's tale was likely at least partly, perhaps entirely, made up.
Why would it be made up? Surely Sir Boleslav wouldn't lie about something so serious.
The book's one thing, but there's not a single other mention anywhere. The grave's missing, the relic's nowhere to be found. Can you think of another explanation, then?
The account books mention that Bavor had a sarcophagus made at his own expense.
That's possible. Does it mean anything?
If he paid for it himself, there had to be a reason. Masonry work like that is no small matter. And it's odd, isn't it? He sorted it all out in detail with the monastery to have his tomb here. Then he wasn't even buried here.
You're right. I never made that connection before.
And then there's the relic. If Bavor had just wanted to raise his reputation with a good story, why claim to have gained something so rare?
Perhaps out of vanity? There's no shortage of that among the nobility.
But his tale's already heroic enough without it. Making up a relic would only draw unwanted attention.
That's a good point. It'd be too risky.
But why would Bavor do that? What would he gain by deceiving everyone here?
If memory serves, he had some disputes over property. Maybe he wanted to improve his reputation.
Well, that's mentioned in the text. But lies wouldn't have helped him. Quite the opposite, if he'd been found out.
You'd be surprised how short-sighted some folk can be. But I agree, something about it doesn't sit right.
And what about the mural mentioned in the accounts? Does it really exist?
Yes, it's in one of the chapel naves. It depicts several scenes from Bavor's alleged adventures.
Well, then that proves Bavor's story wasn't just made up. Surely the abbot back then wouldn't have approved such a mural in the main church if he hadn't believed it was true.
If the former abbot believed Bavor wasn't a liar, but a real hero of the Holy Land, I'll believe him too.
All the more reason I want to see it for myself.
No harm in trying. At the very least, it's a fine piece of work.
Bavor mentions in his journal that he received a great fortune from the King of Cyprus, and the account records say he gave a generous donation to the monastery. Do you think that was made up too?
They confirm at best that Bavor had wealth, not where it came from. According to the late Abbot Vitus, he might have gained that fortune by plundering or as spoils of war, and the tale of the Holy Land was just a cover to mask the dishonorable origin of his riches.
Well, I've never been to the Holy Land, but I've seen plenty of wrongdoings, even here in Bohemia. And if Bavor really wanted to cover up how he got his coin, he could have built a village, built a fortress, or who knows, bought up a mine. He could have done any number of smarter things than spinning a tale about a heroic journey halfway across the world, don't you think?
I'm no expert in fraud, but yes, he chose a rather complicated cover-up if that's what it was.
The crypt has a hidden side chamber, you know.
Excuse me? What chamber?
It had been walled up. In one part of the crypt, the masonry was loose, so I managed to get inside.
I've never heard of anything like that. Perhaps even Abbot Vitus didn't know of it.
I'd say the abbot would definitely have known about something like that. He just didn't tell you. Maybe on purpose.
Where are you going with this?
I'm not sure. Just thinking out loud, really. Don't you think this whole thing is a bit too complicated? Every explanation for why Bavor would lie seems more convoluted than just acknowledging it's true.
Listening to you now, it's like hearing my younger self. And I sound exactly like Abbot Vitus. His view was that Bavor's story was fiction. He told me I'd be better off letting it go.
What exactly did he say?
That I should stop chasing old crusaders and focus on real, meaningful work.
Why didn't you stand your ground?
I couldn't argue with the abbot. What he said went. And I was just a lowly monk, barely past my vows. I had to obey. In time, I learned to let some things lie. Those who dig too deep may uncover what they'd rather not.
I'm not blaming you. But I think it's time we reopened that old inquiry of yours and saw it through. And maybe we'll finally unravel Bavor's mystery together.
If that relic really does exist, and it's surfaced now, it'd surely be a sign from the Lord, a sign of hope in these desperate times.
Don't get ahead of yourself. We've not even found Bavor's tomb. Without it, we're stuck.
But you spoke of that hidden chamber in the crypt. If there's any clue, it'll be in there. Take this and study it closely. It's a drawing of Bavor's family coat of arms I came across years ago. According to this, you'll know if it's truly the grave of Sir Boleslav. Yes, the mural in the chapel, paid for by Bavor himself, also bears his coat of arms.
Those workers, if they really were after Bavor, they only had a drawing of the Jerusalem cross. But if he was buried under his family crest, no wonder they opened the wrong graves.
Yes, that could be it. Study that sketch well, so you won't make the same mistake.
Thank you. I'll head off at once.
Just be careful, please. You know the abbot's orders, the disease, all this misfortune.
Don't worry. I'll be careful.
And in the crypt, show respect to the eternal rest of those buried there, especially now with death haunting the monastery.
Any sign of those workers who've gone missing?
Apart from them not being here.
What? Did I imagine?
Good thing I've got the hood. Some past abbot's tomb. Maybe even Heinrich. Nice. Abbot Vitus. Crispin mentioned him. Let's hope he forgives us for digging into Bavor's story again. Looks more like an abbot's tomb from the carving. Good thing. I'll be shifting that rubble for days on my own.
Bavor's crest. So it's true.
What? That's not Bavor. I need to tell Crispin. I believe in God, the Father.
Holy relics hidden in barrels of olives. Just like he wrote in his travel records.
And the attack by Mamluk bandits. No doubt Bavor had courage aplenty. King of Cyprus, Knight Bavor, and his relic. Though that shield looks a bit different than the one in Crispin's sketch. Almost the same, only on the mural it's got that inner scutcheon added. They gave a lot of space to Bavor's crest and his elevation. Likely at the knight's own request. And the crest's all in one, with an angel and the relic. That must mean something.
I shall mark the
honest, this relic's making my head...
Brother Crispin?
Henry, I searched through the archives again to see if I might still find something on Bavor, but so far nothing. And your search in the crypt? Did you dare go down there?
I dared. And more than that, I truly did find Bavor's sarcophagus in the hidden chamber.
By all the saints. And the relic? Was it there?
No. I was hoping, but I don't think it's that simple. There's a sarcophagus with Bavor's crest, but Bavor isn't the one lying in it.
What? You?
I had to know. Judging by the robes, I'd say it's an abbot or some other high-ranking cleric.
Good lord, that's truly strange.
I swear it's true. But now I haven't the faintest idea what to do next. I was kind of hoping you might come up with an explanation. That chamber looked untouched for years.
Explanations do come to mind, but they're purely speculation. It's possible Bavor was never buried here at all. Or perhaps his grave was moved.
What do you mean, not buried here? Everything points to it.
Until we find the body, we can't be certain. The travel records, the accounts, all point to the intent, but not its fulfillment.
There was his coat of arms on the bottom of the sarcophagus.
Yes, which would support my second theory that his remains were moved.
But why would anyone move him? Isn't that against God's will or something?
There are reasons for it. They're internal matters of the monastery. I shouldn't be discussing them with a layman.
Oh, come on, Crispin. We're searching for Bavor together. Surely you could make an exception. Just forget for a moment I'm not a monk like you, and tell me what you know. Please.
Oh, very well. Since you're so insistent, to be laid to rest in the monastery crypt near the altar is the best one can hope for the soul of the departed. Normally such places are reserved for abbots, but this privilege can be granted to others in rare cases.
That would explain why Bavor might be buried there, but not why he isn't.
I'm getting to that. A place of such honor may be given for great deeds, or a truly generous donation. But if the person has been dead for a long time, and has no surviving kin to speak for him, then it's possible the body may be moved, to make way for a deceased abbot, or a potential new benefactor.
I see. And I understand that's not an easy thing for you to speak about.
Thank you. Still, the deceased isn't simply tossed aside. He's respectfully moved to another resting place, just not as prestigious.
Right. But that brings us back to the question. So where could they have moved Bavor to?
Most likely to the consecrated field next to the monastery, or the graveyard by the infirmary church of St. Cosmas and Damian.
Hang on. That consecrated field is enormous. I'll be searching for weeks, and I can't even get in there now. Better to scout the infirmary church first.
God be with you, Henry. I hope you manage to find Bavor at last.
I saw that mural of Bavor you spoke of, and I think I noticed something slightly unusual.
Ah? Really? What was it?
That Bavor crest. In the mural, it's shown differently from your sketch. Seems to be the elevated version, as mentioned in the travel records, with the inner scutcheon. And on it is the Jerusalem cross. There's also an angel. And Bavor had himself depicted holding the relic. It looked to me like Bavor had the layout made very deliberately.
I must have missed that. Or perhaps I've simply forgotten. But you're right, it does sound rather deliberate.
Indeed. But I still don't know what to make of it.
Bavor clearly put a great deal of thought into his burial. That depiction isn't just a coincidence or some artist's fancy. It was Bavor's intention, and there's certainly a hidden meaning in it.
I'll ponder it on my way to the infirmary graveyard.
You're not supposed to be here.
Good day to you. What brings you here?
Have you seen Elijah today?
Nah. I heard him rummaging about a bit in the night. It woke me up. But he was gone in the morning and hasn't been back. I hope nothing's happened to him.
God be with you. Mother Mary, full of grace.
Any idea where Elijah is?
Not a clue. Haven't seen him since last night.
Carry your cross. Greetings. What would you like?
I need to speak with Elijah. Do you know what's up with him?
Try the cellar. I caught sight of him sneaking down there this morning.
If you saw him, he didn't sneak all that well, did he?
Exactly. He made quite a racket doing it. Till we meet again.
There's a lot of you here. Which one of you is Elijah?
Don't talk to me.
He's blind drunk. He can barely speak. Are you with me? I've got something to perk you up a bit.
What is it? Schnapps?
No, we're out of schnapps. So stop whining and drink.
Oh, bloody awful stuff.
So, feeling any better?
Better? I wish. Oh, it's all coming back to me.
That's good. I need to know what happened during the night.
I don't want to talk about it. Don't make me.
Look, you can drink yourself to death later, but now, pull yourself together. Tell me what you saw and heard, everything you remember.
And then, you'll leave me alone?
Then I don't give a toss about you.
So, what do you want to know?
How did you even notice the fire? What were you doing outside?
I couldn't sleep, so I went for a walk. It was just chance.
Just chance? You sure? I don't think the abbot would be happy about folk wandering around at night.
So what if I took a little walk?
You sure you weren't sneaking off somewhere for a drink?
Hey, what do you even know about me? After a night like that, you'd have had a drink too.
All right. Sorry. Did you see anyone else at the fire?
No. No. Just the dog was there.
The dog?
That's how I noticed the fire. The dog was darting about, barking like mad, so I thought there was someone inside. Someone alive.
When you dragged out those 2 bodies, what did you do then?
While I was pulling out the second one, other people had noticed the fire. One of the knights grabbed me and started yelling that I was the arsonist. Luckily, he saw the bodies and how I was covered in, well, the same filth they were. Then the people from the monastery came. They sent me away and took the bodies off somewhere. I don't know what happened after that.
I need to ask about the dead, too. Did you notice anything odd about them?
I couldn't see much. It was as dark as a sinner's soul. But they were soaked. Soaked to the bone. And also, how to say it? Filthy. Both of them.
Filthy from what?
From shit.
Right. That can happen after death.
No, I mean they were completely covered in it. Like someone had dunked them in it. Oh.
Are you sure they were already dead when you pulled them out?
Aye.
And may I ask how you knew?
When I carried them out, I thought I'd roast alive in seconds. But they were cold as ice. And one of them was already stiff as a board. When I laid him down, he just crunched. Oh.
Do you have any idea who those 2 were?
I've no idea. It was dark. I couldn't see their faces. Thank God. As it is, I'll be dreaming about this for a long time.
Thanks. I'll leave you be now.
Wait, I've no idea what to do with myself. I thought I'd finally do something right for once in my life. And how did I end up? Covered in shit, face burned, and humiliated. I'd rather never step outside the door again.
What are you on about? You acted like a hero.
Hardly. I'm a coward and a drunk.
Who ran into the flames to save his fellow man.
Aye. And what did it get me?
If not for you, they'd have burned to ash and wouldn't even have a decent burial. This way they can pass on with dignity. So stop feeling sorry for yourself and be a bit proud, all right?
Right. Right. Thanks. Hey, look, I haven't told anyone, but I found this key during the night. I've no idea whose it is, but maybe you'll find it useful.
Thanks. Not much left of the shed. Elijah had more luck than sense. A torch? Damn, this wasn't an accident. Someone torched the shed to cover their tracks. At least this grill is here. Oil. burns like the devil. No wonder there's barely anything left of the shed.
You're not supposed to be...
Why do you keep sniffing about? Go on, get!
Right then. Where to begin? I'll start with the younger one. Muscle stiff, but the body looks supple. What's that in his hair? Better mind my fingers. Rigor mortis is wearing off. He can't have been dead more than a few hours. He vomited up his guts before he died. Just like that old confessor. It's all clumped together. Looks like flour, or maybe lime. Yeah, it's flour. Ugh. Bruising, some dried blood, but no broken bones. Those bruises are odd. Regular. Almost perfectly circular. Looks like cupping marks. Someone might have tried to ease a fever or pain. He's young, but his hands are a mess. Covered in scars, nails broken, looks like hard labor. And 2 workers did go missing. That can't be a coincidence. I don't see anything odd here. Ribs intact, belly soft. No sign of violent death. Just his back and hips are badly scraped. No blood. Like he was dragged over gravel after he died. A few old scars. Gravel embedded in both knees. And, blood around the groin. Barely dried. Could it have leaked out after death? Mixed with bowel contents. Bloody diarrhea. Like with the infection. Now for the older one. Pale, sunken eyes, missing some teeth, though that might just be age. Ah. But that hole in his head is someone's doing. Small, round, clean, like it was drilled. I've heard of that method before, used in cases of unbearable headache or seizures. But who'd try that outside the infirmary? Completely stiff. Ugh. Clenched tight, like he was ready for a fight. Rigor mortis well advanced. Died long before the fire. Skin's badly scratched. And there's a thorn stuck here. Maybe a rose? Stiff as a board. But no broken bones. Back and shoulders all scratched up, like he was dragged through brambles. And around his neck and chest he's got red blotches on the skin. Those blotches look familiar. They're a bit like the ones on that old confessor. Looks like this poor wretch caught the same thing. Knees are scraped and scarred. He must have worked hard in his life. Well, what's clear is they didn't die in that burning hut. More likely they succumbed to the infection spreading in the monastery. The symptoms match perfectly. Either way, it wasn't a cold-blooded murder. Someone tried to treat them, brutally, but still. And it didn't work. Someone must have hauled the bodies into that shed. And it left marks on them. It might be possible to trace where they came from. Now I get what Elijah was talking about. Ugh. A cart and rose bushes. If he dragged them through the ditch, no wonder they were in such a state. Wheel tracks. Headed that way towards the gate. Something's jammed in the lock. There's no way I can pick it. This way won't work. I'll have to find another route. tracks are clear. That cart was bloody heavy. The cart tracks lead to the herbalists. Maybe Joachim knows more. Poor beast. Who did this to you? What in damnation is...
You said they were better. Were you lying or just that stupid?
They took a turn for the worse. It came out of nowhere, and there was no saving them.
And those books I got for you. You've half the monastery's library in here. Did you even bother looking at them?
I read every one, but I told you 100 times, I am not a physician. I don't know what you all expected from me.
You were supposed to use your head, damn it. Now everyone and their dog is sniffing around here.
I couldn't just...
I thought I made myself clear. They stay here, you don't leave, and nobody must know a thing.
But what was I supposed to do? Your master...
Provided you with everything you needed, and paid you generously. Or am I wrong? What about that fire? Were you just covering your ass, or planning to rat on us too?
They were infected. For the sake of everyone in the monastery, I did what had to be done.
Doing what has to be done. For everyone's sake. Dennis!
Fuck you, whoreson!
You'll all die here.
You want to try me? Jesus! I'm hit! Die, you swine!
You'll all die here. You'll all die here. You'll all die here. You just had to go snooping, eh? You'll all die here. Is it really worth it to you?
Did you?
He's gone. Hold on. I'll fetch help.
Don't trouble yourself, son. But please, stay.
No. No, I'll run for Albie.
Pray with me. The Lord will soon welcome me.
All right. But I need to ask you something first.
Yes?
Why did you set the shed alight? Were you trying to get rid of the bodies?
Get rid of them? No. But should they rot under my roof? I only hoped the fire would consume them, and that'd be the end of it.
Did you try to treat those poor souls yourself?
I did my best. On the orders of Master Zacharias, I tried everything, even against their will, but either the sickness had advanced too far, or I simply lacked the knowledge.
All right. And now the prayer.
Our Father, who art in heaven.
Oh, Christ above. Go with God. Amen. A bit neglected, but otherwise a nice place for one's final rest. I hope I find Bavor here, so I don't have to search the whole consecrated field. Who knows who lies here? Best not disturb them. Unmarked grave. Peace to your soul, whoever you are. Nobleman. You must have had luck, or a purse full of groschen to be buried within monastery walls. May the Lord Christ watch over your house, brave sir. Boleslav's crest! At last! There's no time for that. I must warn Albik at once.
To your health, my friend. Hopefully the worst is behind us.
May not a drop go to waste.
You rats! Hey! Henry! It was his fault those two died. He was the first to know about the epidemic, and he tried to keep everything hushed up. He blackmailed the herbalist to hide them and treat them at his place. And when those bodies were found, what did he do? He sent that lackey of his to get rid of him.
Joachim is
dead. And that Dinesh of yours too. So now you kill me. Give me just one more reason. Albik? Albik, what is it?
If I were you, I'd hold back a while. For everyone's sake.
You poisoned him? Why?
Calm down. He's still breathing.
What do you mean, still?
Whether he survives is up to you, and whether you're finally willing to cooperate.
You're mad. You want me to help you? Now? After all this?
If you're looking for someone to blame, try yourself. None of this would have happened if you hadn't kept getting in my way.
Don't try that on me. I thought you and Albik were friends. He never did anything to deserve this.
Albik may not realize it, but half his shining reputation is thanks to me. Next to someone young and inexperienced, it's easy to look like a master. You saw it yourself. Even the Right Reverend didn't trust me. Me, royal physician to King Sigismund. But once Master Albik showed up, suddenly everything was different. And all he had to do was repeat the same things I'd already said.
So you only pretended to be his friend? All the while you looked down on him? Speak, traitor. What do you want from me?
I want Albic's closely guarded records on the treatment of King Wenceslas.
What? Why?
Don't play dumb. Albic spent a lot of time with him. I want to know what he wrote down.
So, it was you who turned our chamber upside down?
Me? No, that was Dinesh.
And if I bring you the records, you'll give me the antidote?
Not so fast. There's one more thing. Something King Sigismund himself would greatly value. Apparently, somewhere in this monastery, there's a relic from the Holy Land, brought here years ago by a knight.
And that's what those workers were after. But they failed.
Morons.
You're not talking about Sir Valentine's sword, are you?
No. I'm talking about the relic of Sir Boleslav Bavor of Blatna.
So you mean there's more than one relic hidden here in the monastery? Aren't these things meant to be incredibly rare?
How should I know? I'm no chronicler. Either way, if you want Albic to leave here alive, and yourself along with him, you'll put in the work and find that grave. Or rather, what's in it. Once you've got the relic and the records, come to the church. We'll meet there. And one last piece of advice. Hurry. The substance acts slowly, but the longer you make Albic wait, the worse the consequences.
And what's to stop me grabbing you by the neck, beating the antidote out of you, and dragging you to the abbot?
The fact I'm not a fool. I haven't got the antidote on me. So we can go to the abbot and spend hours blaming each other. Meanwhile, Albic will die, right here on the cold ground in a puddle of his own vomit. If he's to survive, we do this my way. Do we understand each other?
Absolutely.
That's how it should be.
Henry, the records, they're behind scales.
What? What scales? Albic? I can't just hand the real records over to Zacharias.
Henry, is something wrong? I just saw Master Zacharias. He nearly knocked me over, then ran out without a word.
Everything's fine, Benedict. The armor, the crest, the sword. It has to be him. The valiant knight Boleslav Bavor. May his soul rest in peace. Only no sign of the relic. But then again, the mural showed that in his scutcheon in his crest. Forgive me, Master Bavor. You won't be needing it anymore. My God. A crusader's sword that saw the Holy Land. A true honor. Let's see if I understood it right. By all the saints. Praise be to thee, our almighty Lord. And praise be to thee, merciful Christ, who suffered on the cross for us. Thank you for remembering us sinners in this time of trial, and for letting me find this treasure. Forgive us our trespasses, and spare us from this dreadful plague. Let the righteous triumph, cast down the treacherous, and please save Master Albic's life. Amen.
Halt! We received a report of a suspicious ruckus in the gardens. What happened here? And what are you doing in the graveyard?
So this is your idea of watching out for suspicious activity? Do you not guard anything at all, for Christ's sake? Dennis just killed the herbalist Joachim, and if I hadn't fought back, he'd have killed me too.
Was?
Do I need to show you exactly where the body lies before you believe me?
Was zum Teufel? Search the herbalist's hut and this graveyard. And be on your guard. I'm taking you to the abbot. I hate to interrupt your grace, but something's happened that urgently requires your attention.
Did you bring more news from Masters Albrecht and Zacharias? How fare our sick?
Not so, your grace. The herbalist Joachim, may the Lord rest his soul, was found dead in his hut.
Christ alive! How is that possible?
Henry here claims he was there and killed the murderer in self-defense.
I swear it's the truth. It was Dinesh on Zacharias' orders. And that's not all. Before I could stop him, Zacharias poisoned Master Albrecht.
What are you saying? Why would Zacharias do such a thing?
That bastard did it to get hold of Bavor's relic and Albrecht's records about King Wenceslas.
By all the saints, as if things weren't bad enough already. Now this.
Christ almighty! Henry, why didn't you tell me?
I'm sorry, Crispin. Maybe I should have, but it's too late for that now.
Crispin, go to the infirmary. Tell Benedict to tend to Master Albrecht immediately. Without him, we cannot overcome the plague. Ludolf, leave us alone. Matters of the crown must be discussed in private.
Your grace, that's out of the question. Your safety.
That's an order.
As you command. But I'll leave my man outside the door. Just say the word.
Very well. Thank you. Henry, you've made a very serious accusation. And in front of witnesses, no less.
Believe me, Father, I wish I were mistaken. But I saw it with my own eyes.
Very well. I believe you. But first, tell me about the relic. Crispin was just telling me about this mystery of Bavor. Am I right in thinking the two are connected?
Yes. Crispin helped me find and interpret the clues. And in the end, I found it. Along with the true grave of Bavor. Here it is, Father. A splinter of the true cross.
Oh, unbelievable. Incredible. Eternal glory to our Lord. A true sacrament. And perhaps even a sign of hope. But how did Zacharias know about it? Tell me everything from the beginning.
It all began in that crypt beneath the church. Some of the workers were trying to find the tomb of Sir Boleslav Bavor.
They were supposed to fix the collapse. No one gave them permission to enter the crypt.
Zacharias bribed them. He'd heard that Bavor was buried here with a relic from the Holy Land and decided to seize it for King Sigismund. The workers were meant to find Bavor's sarcophagus, but they also opened and looted nearby tombs.
That is sacrilege. That crypt holds the remains of abbots of this monastery.
And in the process, they uncovered coffins containing rotting remains. That's where the illness that spread through the monastery came from.
So the illness, it wasn't plague.
Exactly. But it's still deadly dangerous. And that was only the beginning. Zacharias hid the first two sick workers with Joachim, who he blackmailed into caring for them in secret. He treated them as best he could, but their symptoms worsened. When they died in his care, he panicked and tried to get rid of the bodies.
That fire? Those corpses?
When they were found, Zacharias panicked in turn and sent Denesh to kill Joachim.
Oh, God in heaven, forgive them their sins.
I tried to stop him, but he stabbed Joachim and then came at me. Luckily, I managed to fight him off. I ran back to the infirmary to warn Albik, but by then, Zacharias had already been poisoning his wine for some time. I don't know what poison it was, but Albik is barely breathing and has no idea what's going on.
And Zacharias?
He actually laughed in my face. He'll only give me the antidote if I bring him 2 things.
Oh, people hold nothing sacred.
He wants Bavor's relic and Albic's records on King Wenceslas's treatment. The exchange is to take place in the church. Otherwise, Albic likely won't live to see morning. Please, Father Jan. Albic sees you as a friend. Zacharias betrayed him. You can still save him. Will you help me?
From what you've said, I gather you knew about his plans. Why are you telling me all this only now?
I suspected you wouldn't believe me. Even I wasn't sure for a long while. I kept searching until the pieces finally fell into place. I meant to tell you everything, but only once I held clear proof. And that, Zacharias himself provided.
I'll do everything in my power. We must end this affair. Quickly, and within our walls. I shall entrust you with the relic. But please, take care of it. May it be preserved for our monastery.
Thank you for your trust, Father. I'll do my best to see it return to you.
From this moment, the curfew no longer applies to you. The knights at my door will inform everyone else. And do speak to Sir Ludolf. Perhaps one of his men has gear that'll suit you too.
Thank you again, Father.
You can thank me later. Right now, get moving.
I'm sorry, Father. There's one more thing.
Yes?
Albic hid his records somewhere safe, but he didn't manage to tell me where. All he could get out was they're behind the scales. Did he ever mention anything like that to you?
I'm afraid not, lad. We never spoke of it.
Did he speak about anything else?
Since the curfew was declared, he only came to see me once. He asked for access to my private chapel.
And? Did you allow it?
No. Oh, Lord, forgive me. I didn't want him bringing the sickness here. I told him to use the infirmary chapel.
But there were already sick men there too. Still, thank you.
God be with you.
Figure something out. Let me know.
Sir Ludolf, I spoke with His Grace the Abbot, and...
Words already reached me. My men are ready to assist you, should it come to that.
Thank you. I appreciate it. But there's one more thing. We may be facing a fight, and I arrived at the monastery without any equipment.
Our supplies aren't vast. But we can at least offer you a cuirass and a gambeson. There's a cuirass ready on this stand in the tent. If you want it, it's yours.
Thank you, sir. Well, Ludolf didn't say anything about a helmet, but since I'm here...